Alright, we are back here with some more CZN, and we're going to be doing a Diana guide where we talk about everything you need to know about her. So we're going to go through, best partners, save data you might be aiming for, potentials, memory fragments, do you need dupes, team comps, and also, her gameplay style. So if y'all enjoy this video, if it helps you out, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so first off, we're going to start off with is Diana's mechanics. Okay, so as you guys can see with All My Heart, she's got a Quintus label on it, which is when this card is discarded, activate this card. This card cannot be moved from the used card pile for this turn. So even if you don't want to activate the card itself, you can still discard it to get the benefits from it. So it's pretty cool, and it also works for her unique card over here, Heartbreaker. You can use it as well, but if you do discard it, you get extra damage. So that's why the Quietus on the card is actually really nice. Then we have this card over here, which it creates 2 heart shakers. You can use it. If you use it, it's going to give 1 resonance to the enemy. If you're wondering what the resonance is, on card discard 80% extra attack, then decrease resonance by 1. So obviously from seeing her first card that we went through to go to going to Heart Shaker, you could probably realize, okay, if we could get a good amount of Heart Shakers on the enemy to apply the resonance, then do a whole bunch of discards with the Heartbreakers to get a lot of attacks and a lot of extra damage attacks, you could see her doing a lot of attacks and doing a lot of damage, right? And if this is also discard, you will apply 2 resonance to a random enemy. So, but obviously if you're versing just one enemy, it's still gonna come in clutch. So obviously discard mechanic is really big when it comes to her kit. Now you also have this card here, Pistol Purification. Is a bullet card but also has Quietus on it, and it could also apply resonance too. Then we have Bloom in Love here, where it can draw a Quietus card. It's also got other epiphanies, and most of the epiphanies is going to be regarding drawing or discarding. And then you have this one here where it will discard all bullet cards in hand. So you could go for various builds with Diana. You could go for a build where you have a lot of with All My Hearts, and this one here. Then you could have one where you might get a dupe of this, then a dupe of this, then maybe go for maybe 2 dupes of this. So you just try to get as much bullet cards in your hand, then pop this card off and do a lot of attacks. With her last card, we have Liberated Feelings, which I have to say has an amazing animation, but it can draw 3 exhaust bullet cards, but it does do a lot of damage, and as you can see, it will increase damage amount by 30% for each different bullet card. So overall, her gameplay is really going to be about discarding and doing extra attacks, also applying resonance so she can do extra attack damage too. We're going to get into partners. Obviously best in slot is going to be Sophia. That's her partner. So increase the assigned combatant's attack by 16% when a Passion Quietus card of the assigned combatant is discarded. Critical damage, extra attack damage, and also her ego skill is actually amazing. So we have 3 Die Hard Fan, and it has draw 1, and it has discard up to 2 cards. So it's a really good ego skill for her. That extra draw, the discarding, like it is perfect for her, obviously, right? Now if you was going to use any other ones, the Yuri one could, I feel like this could work with a lot of characters, because draw 2 can always be helpful, especially if you could get her cards, and the attack is always going to be nice. And upon the first shuffle, the assigned combatant's damage dealt is increased. This could also be nice. Akkad could also be a decent one because it gives the increase to attack, but it does have bullet card damage, which she does do. Obviously most of the time you're going to be discarding, but the bullet cards can still do extra damage with this. Now the Battle Pass one is one that's also good, because it increases attack, you're getting critical chance as well, and critical damage. I think this could be a really good one if I'm being honest. So to be fair, honestly, I think you can near enough use, you know, various hunter partners. You know, you can go with Akkad if you want to go for the battle pass one. It would work, and Yuri is always going to be a safe bet, to be fair, with a lot of hunter characters. But the reason why I feel like a lot can work is because, you know, a lot of hunter characters kind of have the same mechanics where they're able to draw a lot of cards, and obviously they have bullet cards. So, you know, that's why I'm saying various ones could, you know, work with her. Now, when it comes to save data, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like there's various ways to build her. You could go, like, this is the one I made. This is just one I wanted to go for, where I had the ability to create a whole bunch of heartbreakers. But I also have this card here where I could create heart shakers, but I could also use this card to discard the heartbreakers. You know, I've got the pistol purification here, blooming love. You know, if no quietus cards of this unit are in hand, draw one quietus card of this unit. That's also going to be nice, because we have quietus on all three of them, and we also have quietus on this. Obviously, most of the time I hope I'm drawing this. And liberated feelings, honestly, I've seen a lot of people take this out their deck. You can, but I just like the animation for it, if I'm being totally honest. And we do have a persona here, which I kind of did mess up because we got two different ones, but hey, it is what it is, you know. That 4 Umbra engraving is probably going to be the one I go for, because look, plus 40% damage amount to quietus cards of this unit for 1 turn. I did mess up going for an having the exhaust here, but you know, if I use it at the right time, I could still do a good amount of damage. But yeah, as I said, you could go with something like this. You could go with one, as I said, you have this epiphany here, and you just try to get all the bullet cards in hand that you can, and you use this to discard all the bullets and do the extra attack damage, and probably do like some 1-turn kills with this type of setup. You could definitely probably go with something like the change 0 cost exhaust cards in hand into random heart bullets as well. So there are various ways you can go about building her, but the mechanic's always going to be there, you know, discarding the cards. And I like the one I have as well. If anything, I would love to probably get a God Epiphany either on with all my heart or Mil Campong, and probably a better persona too. Now we're going to get into potentials. So the ones you want to level up is definitely the unique card upgrade, obviously the crit chance and the crit damage ones too, and obviously this one here, because if Diana's critical chance is greater than 10% plus 4% extra damage for every 5% critical chance above 10%, add an additional plus 1% to the modifier, additional plus 8% max, right? And this one is not that you necessarily want to level it up, but to get to this one, the Divine Epiphany, I think if you're going to grind for any character and you want a Divine Epiphany on them, I definitely think this is worth getting and leveling up. And I'm not going to lie, there's definitely a difference when you have this and when you don't, especially when you're doing the, where you're going to the rest area and you want to, you know, change the epiphany that you got from the card. You know, you can get an epiphany like more lightly because of this. So yeah, definitely level up this potential for sure. But yeah, this is the way how I go with leveling. Now when it comes to memory fragments, I think it's best to go 2-piece. Then the other 2 pieces is whatever you're trying to go for. So, and I think this is a good way to build a lot of characters. I know you could go 4-set, 2-set with some characters, but honestly, I'm starting to like the 2-set. Then you use the other 2 memory fragments to get all the substats that you need on that character. So that's kind of what I did with Diana here. As you guys can see, we got the 25% critical damage, 12% attack. Then, you know, I put like 2 random ones here, but as you can see, it's got a whole lot of extra damage. It also has crit chance and crit damage on it. Then this one, you guys can see, it's got extra extra damage. It's also got an attack, and it has crit chance and crit damage. So having 2 off pieces that just give you all the substats you need, I think is going to be really useful for building any characters. And as you guys can see, we've got a good ratio. I say we've got a lot of extra attack. We've got the 50% crit chance. We've got a lot of attack, to be fair. you know, and we also have a crap ton of critical damage. And I'm pretty sure when we're in game, I'm pretty sure our crit damage, you know, is near enough 200%, or maybe even passing it. We could also always get that one weapon that gives you extra crit damage, so getting above 200% crit damage is definitely possible, especially with other characters with their potentials. But yeah, I would just say go two set and use the other two sets, the other two memory fragments to get as much substats as you can on the character on what you need. So that's probably going to be extra damage, crit damage, you know. Now, ego manifestations. Now, I do have one dupe on her. I didn't purposely go for it. So what kind of happened is I was summoning, and once I was done summoning for Diana and her partner, I did 170 summons on the event thing, right? And so I was like, okay, if I do 3 more multis, I could collect all the rewards from the event. Let me just go to it so you guys know what I'm talking about. I hope it's still, it's not here, is it? No, it's not here. It goes, wait, hold up. Yeah, this. So I was on 170, so I was like, okay, 3 more multis to 200. It gave me a temple. I did the first temple. I ended up getting the Diana straight away in that first multi. Then I did 2 extra multis just to get this as well, because, you know, I like to have these on the characters I summon for and want. So yeah, that's how I ended up getting the dupe on her. Do you need dupes? Hell no. You know, I think it's always best and safe to go for dupes with for characters that are limited, because these characters go in the standard banner. Yep, you might be able to get dupes for them later, especially if they add like a selector as well, or pathway you could choose. Okay, I want this character, you do this amount of summons and you're eventually gonna get that character. But yeah, you don't need dupes on her. Her dupes are not that bad though. Plus 100% damage amount to Liberated Feelings card, and changes the draw count of exhaust bullet cards to 3. Now, a lot of people might not like dupe 1 because, you know, as I said, some people do take that away from her deck. Then her second one is each time an ally discards a card, gain 2 flutters. Flutters at the end of turn, 200% extra attack to the target with the highest max HP, and increase damage amount of the extra attack by 10% for each flutters. Then decrease all flutters at the start of the turn, max 20 stacks. Yeah, each time an ally discards a card, gain 2 flutters, max 20 stacks. Flutters at the end of the turn, 200% extra attack to the target, and increase damage amount of the extra attack by 10% for each flutter. So yeah, if you have a 1-turn kill set up, or like in 1 turn you're able to, you know, discard a lot of cards and, you know, go through your deck, yeah, who knows how much damage she's going to be doing because of this. So this is something that could also be nice. I'm not gonna lie, Dupe 2 don't sound that bad. Dupe 2 sounds pretty good in my opinion. Change cost of Radiant Smile to 4. That's her ego skill. And the creation count of Heartbreaker to 4 cards. Wow. Okay. And then we have plus 30% damage amount to Diana's extra attacks, plus 1% damage amount to extra attacks for each. I'm not gonna lie, her dupes are definitely going to make her do a lot more damage. And dupe 6, each time an ally discards a card, gain an additional 2 flutters and increase the max stack count of flutters by 10. Each time Diana's flutters stacks to 30, allies inflict 200% extra damage to a random. Holy, I'm not gonna lie, I've always read through, you know, dupes of characters, even though I don't really go for them. I have to say Diana's one actually sounds like, yeah, if you do dupe her out, she's definitely gonna do a lot more damage, it seems, you know. Where I feel like other characters, if you did get dupes for them, yeah, you're gonna do some more damage, but I think Diana's one might, you know, outdo the other characters. Probably not Serennial's, but I'm not gonna lie, Diana's ego manifestations actually do sound really good. But as I will always say, you don't need to go for dupes for characters in this game. It's really just if you want to do, you know, more damage most of the time. And most of the time you don't actually need to do more damage because you could already do enough in this game. Now we've got through all of that, we are going to go through team comps as the last thing for Diana. And the number 1 character I'm obviously gonna go with is a character I really like, and that's gonna be Nia. The reason why is because not even just because of Adagio, even though this Adagio over here, draw 2, discard 2, is really nice. All the other ones. Nia's Curiosity. Check 3 random cards from the draw pile. Choose 1 to draw. Discard the rest. Imagine if all 3 cards are Diana's cards, or even just 2 of them, and you could choose the other one, and you will discard her cards, and it will still trigger her mechanics. You know, you got Adagio that could trigger it. I think even G Chord has something interesting. Check the top 3 cards of the draw pile. Choose 1 to activate. Okay, it doesn't say discard, but the combatant who owns the top card of the draw pile performs 120% extra attack. If you're running like 0 deck on the 3rd character, you know, maybe this is something you could use. But you know, even some nice G Chord ones. Then you got this one as well, which I always took out her deck, but honestly for Diana, this could work. Discard 1. Okay, random card probably not, but if it's only her card there, then it could work, because 250% is nice, right? And you're discarding, so you're probably gonna trigger the discard mechanic on whatever card you're discarding. And you know, you mute. This is what I'm saying, mute accent, ascent, however you say it. This card could really do some good stuff with her. Discard 1. The owner of the card performs 200% extra attack. I believe this is the one where you could choose. At the start of turn, discard 1. 150% extra attack to a random enemy from the combatant who owns the card. I've never used this one, so I don't know if you could actually choose it every turn. And discard all highest cost cards. The combatant who owns the cards. I mean, even something like this could go insane as well if you got a whole bunch of Diana cards in your hand or whatever, right? If they're the same cost, I guess. But yeah, man, Nia's just gonna be insane with her, because a lot of these cards literally just like fit Diana's deck. Like, she's perfect for her. Okay, she's perfect for her. And obviously Soul Rip could also work as well, but this is gonna be like just really good. So when a card in hand is discarded, the combatant who owns the card performs 100% extra attack to a random enemy. This is another good one, and obviously all the other ones that could heal, gives you Decibel or elasticity. Yeah, Nia is just perfect for her. Okay, another one I really like is Mika. Obviously, if you could get that deck where, you know, you get rid of most of Mika's cards and you get this one with the draw, it's going to be amazing, because it's going to give you 1 AP every turn, but it's also going to give you that draw, and it's going to help you cycle through your deck. So Mika is always going to work well with any character, and plus she's also going to have that healing. Ray, it's always going to work with characters, because you're going to get rid of a lot of the cards. You keep snack time. You use snack time to go through your deck. Use Predator's Blade to, you know, get that morale, so you could do a lot of damage. So I think she could be good. I'm pretty sure Selena will work with her, especially if you get that save data where yeah, for 1 turn when an attack card of other combatant is used. Okay, I don't know if this will trigger if you're discarding things cards, but you know, I think Selena still could work. I've heard good things about Renoa. I'm pretty sure Renoa could work as well. And yeah, I think that team comp there is gonna be crazy. I see a lot of people going for it and doing things about it. So yeah, Renoa, it seems like she could be really good. Hugo obviously could work too. Her and Luke together, there might be a bit too much going on and too much drawing that would be needed. I'm not saying they can't work together, but I think you would rather just focus on drawing Diana's cards. Veronica could obviously work with her. Honestly, Mei Lin could probably work with her too. For sure. I think Mei Lin could definitely work with her for sure as well. Naja, of course. Typhera could also be nice with her. But yeah, I personally wouldn't use another DPS with Diana. I know a lot of people are going to use Renoa and stuff, but I would rather use like a Nia and a Mika team. You know, Mika there to literally heal, draw cards if I could get that epiphany ever, and Nia's there literally to discard my Diana cards and, you know, do a whole bunch of attacks and damage. But it's pretty simple. A lot of the support characters are going to work with her. You can use her with other DPS characters like Mei Lin, Veronica, Hugo, Renoa, Selena could probably work. Luke probably too. I mean Lucas, I should really call him. Oh, Cassius as well. I forgot about Cassius. Honestly, even though Cassius got nerfed, I think he's still very good. I probably shouldn't have reset him, honestly. But yeah, Cassius is low-key good because Joker can always be nice, right? And the shuffle could be nice as well. The shuffle could be really nice, especially if you draw a lot of her cards, then you just have shuffle there and boom, you just use it. That could work really nice, man. Honestly, shuffle could be really insane with her. But yeah, Cassius is definitely another character that could work with her. But I think that's gonna be it for the video. I felt like we went over everything you needed to know. We went through her cards, partners, save data ish that you could go through. Honestly, there's just so many ways you could build her. I think you'll be fine with whatever way you want to go to build her. Talked about the potentials, talked about memory fragments, talked about her ego skills, and obviously we went through team comps. So I'm pretty sure that's gonna be it for the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, run it up. Catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.